So I am going to mute you so you don't show up on Elena's recording with any kind of, crazy words or anything. So we are going to get started in a seated position. We are going to do the full moon. We're going to do a moon salutation, right? But we're going to do it different. And it's so funny for me to say this because I have a friend. She's actually one of my trainees when I go down and teach yoga teacher training. She's one of my trainees, and she taught a moon salutation class last month. And the way she taught it was a little different, a little unique, a little funky, and I loved it. And I told her I'm going to steal it and give it to you guys today. So that's the best part about is working with these young little yoga teachers is they teach me so much. So we're going to use Lauren's idea. So simple seated position. Start off sitting up nice and tall and close your eyes. Take a few breaths. Reminding yourself that full moons, not only is it a full moon, it's a super moon. So extra energy charging around this one. Lots of just energy. We're going to say energy, but emotions tend to get a little crazy at this time. So take a moment, just breathe. Breathe out all that energy. Breathe out all those emotions. It's all about you and your mat. Take a moment, scan the body. Notice if there's areas of tightness or tension or areas that just don't feel as good as the others, whether it's physical, maybe it's mental, maybe it's emotional, whatever's going on, because again, we're all charged by the moon. So just be aware. Don't name a source, don't name a cause, don't name a reason, just be aware. So then we can give that area or those areas a little bit more attention, a little bit more energy, a little bit more breath, and then a whole lot of grace. Starting to practice by rolling the shoulders. Of course, bringing movement into the body. Our little alarm clock for the body. I have one friend that we send each other messages. And I've told y'all about her before. We share theme ideas and sequence ideas. And excuse me, she was like, oh, full moon, easy. And then I was like, yeah, I thought about it. And I was going to do something fun with it. And I can't remember what. She's like, do you remember what? And I was like, no, but tell me what else you're going to do. Relax your shoulders, circle through your torso, bring some movement into your midsection. So after moon salute, we'll do some balance work, some standing balance work. Change the direction of the circles with your torso. On your next inhale, bring it back to center. Take your legs out in front of you, just with knees bent. You can place hands behind you if you want, just windshield wiper legs, side to side, just to bring a little movement into the legs, into the hips, into the body. And then bring it back upright. Take the left leg, just whatever you want with it. Take it long. Pull in that right knee. Hug the knee into the chest. Hug it in close. We're going to warm up our hips just a hair more. And then you're going to open this right knee and we're going to rock the baby. And I feel like we did this the other day. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. So left hand holds the right foot. Right hand holds the right knee unless you can get it tucked into the elbow. And then you're just going to rock this leg side to side. It's really working through the hips. If your hips are a little tight, you might be rocking the whole body, and that's okay too. You might be bringing circular movements in here, but just warming up the hip, getting it ready. Moon salutes have lots of lunges and squats in it, so we're getting ready for that. I know I taught this last week. I just don't know if it's with you. And then once we're done with that right leg, we're going to switch it out. Extend it out. Pull in the left knee. Put the foot down first. Hug the knee into the chest. And then open the leg. Find a way to rock the baby, whether the knee is in the elbow or the hand, and then rocking side to side. maybe adding in some circles. And perhaps one side's feeling a little tighter than the other. And then release that leg and roll it over. Find your way. Actually, let's go straight to down dog. Let's skip tabletop altogether. Go to down dog. Find some movement within the pose. Whatever movement your body's looking for. And then settling into the pose whenever you're ready to settle in. Perhaps this is your first down dog Thursday. I think, nope. I was like, this is my first one since Friday, but forgot I snuck in a short class yesterday. So this is a good time to rescan the body. Be aware of what's happening. Sometimes when we start in that seated position, we don't notice what's happening as much. I always feel like down dog's that really good assessment that, oh yeah, my calves are tight, or oh yeah, my back is sore. So before we get into moon salutes, I want to warm up with sun cell C. We're just going to do one. So on an exhale, walk your feet to the top of the mat. So you're into a forward fold. Let yourself hang. Find movement if you want. You can even rock side to side with the torso. Whatever you're feeling here. Play around with the pose if you want. On your next inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach the arms all the way overhead. And then we're going to exhale, chair pose. Oh my gosh, we haven't done this one in a while. So chair pose, bright and early in the practice. Just breathe. We can stay here for a while. One of the things, and I think this is ironic, so the full moon energy is obviously female. It also tends to be colder and a little bit slower. It is the yin energy as well. So while I don't encourage practicing yin, we are going to do longer holds in our poses, even though they're standing poses. Yin doesn't usually factor into standing poses, but that's what we're doing today. So next exhale, forward fold. Taking in a breath, lift up just halfway. Create that illusion of a flat back. Exhale as you fold. Hands to the mat. Left foot steps back. Runner's lunge. Stay here for a moment. Stay here for a moment and find some movement within this lunge. So get your body ready for some more lunges. Whatever movement. Perhaps you're just forward and back. You're rocking on that back foot. Perhaps you're finding circular motion within the hips. Maybe a little side-to-side action. Play around with it. You might find a variation that speaks to your body, and then you can settle into it whenever you want. Funny thing is, this runner's lunge will appear in our moon salutation. So it's very much preparing us for our moon salutation. We're only doing one of those. Plant in your hands. Right foot steps back, high plank. Bellies in and up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Take a moment to breathe. Step or jump your feet to the top of the mat. Lift up halfway. Stay for a breath or two. Don't rush through it. Exhale as you fold. Hands to the mat. This time, right foot steps back. Runner's lunge. Take a moment just to breathe and find some movement. So any movement your body's looking for. Again, play around with it. And if you find a variation that really speaks to your body, really feels good, then stay there. Settle in when you want to settle in. Planting your hands on the mat. Take your left foot, step back, high plank. Bellies in and up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Step or jump your feet to the top of the mat. Lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold. Inhale all the way up to standing. Arms reach all the way overhead. On an exhale, pull your palms together, heart center. And then come to the middle of your mat and turn sideways. So the middle of your mat. Typically when we've done moon salutes, we've started at the front, halfway through we're at the back, and then we come back to the front, still facing sideways. We're not going to do that today. We are going to start in the middle, and then we're going to do one pose at a time. So we'll do one pose on the right, and then we'll do it to the left, and then we'll come back up right, and then we'll do right, left. You'll see. It'll be fun. So taking in a breath, reach the arms all the way overhead. On an exhale, stretch over to the right side. Find the length through the left side of the body. Keep your weight evenly distributed on both feet. Next inhale, come all the way upright. Next exhale, take it over to the left. Stay here and breathe. Try not to let yourself round forward with your right shoulder. It's easy to happen. Easy to let happen, I should say. You just get comfortable, you get settled in, and next thing you know, you start losing some strength because you're getting a little tired. Don't do that. Stay strong. Inhale, come upright. On an exhale, we're going to jump out to a goddess pose. So if you don't want to jump, you know you can step out wide. But when you step out and jump out, try to land on your heels. Flat feet, but weight in the heels. So on that exhale, jump it out or step it out. Knees and toes point the same direction. Bellies in and up. We've got our little goalpost arms. Take some time, just breathe. And it's okay if you're finding movement. One of my friends, he can hold boat pose for 3 minutes, but he moves the whole time. And so while I wouldn't ask you to hold this for 3 minutes, finding movement helps you stay within it, helps you not focus on the negative. Next inhale, we're going to go to a 5-pointed star. So next inhale, straighten your legs, turn your heels out, arms extend long. So make sure you're not dumping into the arches of the feet here. So keep those arches lifted. So it's like you're flat on your foot as though you were standing upright, but we're outlined. 5-pointed star. We're practicing a star pose while we're practicing a full moon sequence. It's all about the nighttime sky, right? On an exhale, relax the arms. Bring your hands to your hips for just a moment. We're going to throw in a wide leg forward fold just for fun. So hands to the hips, feet still out wide, taking a breath. Exhale, fold forward. Once you fold forward, bring your hands down wherever you want them to go. So they can go beneath your head. Maybe they grab toes. Maybe they grab calves, ankles. Perhaps they walk between your legs and behind you. Whatever you want in your wide leg forward fold. And again, movements allowed. We did a lot of hamstring work on Thursday, so maybe your hamstrings really appreciate this. Hands come to your hips. Taking a breath, come all the way back up. And then turn the right toes out. So we're going into triangle pose. So right toes turn out, depending on which way you're facing on your mat. Your toes might be pointing to the front of the mat or the back of the mat. But we are going for triangle. So taking a breath, lengthen the arms. On an exhale, reach forward and then fold. So right hand doesn't have to touch the floor. In fact, mine usually doesn't. Keep your neck really comfortable. Don't strain it trying to look at your left hand in the sky. Don't hurt yourself here, but keep the left hip and left shoulder open. Next, inhale, come all the way up. And we pivot to the other side. So right toes turn out or turn in, left toes turn out. So we've immediately just set ourselves up. On an exhale, hinge and fold. And again, keep your neck safe. Try not to dump weight into the left hand or the left arm. Keep the belly in and up, trying to find strength through the midsection here. Next, inhale, come all the way up. Turn the left toes in, and then we're going to pivot back to the right side. We're going to go find pyramid pose. So I want those arms, so we turned out the right toes. I want arms to reach over the right leg. But this back leg, when we go into pyramid, some people like it opened like this. You might turn it in and step it in. It's all what you prefer. I personally prefer hips pointed directly over the leg I'm going to fold over. I like my both set the toes in the same direction, but this left leg can be opened up a little bit more. The distance between your feet is a little shorter, but my arms are reaching over my right leg. On an exhale, I want you to reach forward, hinge, so you're folded and parallel with the floor and chest. So this is one variation. This works great. If you want to take it and fold over the right leg, you're welcome to. Otherwise, keep the chest parallel with the floor. Whatever works for you. Striving to keep right leg straight. Now, we've not done a lot of hamstring strength or stretches, so they might not be ready to straighten, and that's all right. It's okay, always okay to put a bend in your knee. It's better than snapping your hamstrings. Next, inhale. Come up. So arms reach forward if you're not there already. So stay for this exhale. Next, inhale, pull yourself upright. Open the feet. Turn them back out so they're parallel. Similar to your 5-pointed star, but just long enough that we can then pivot over the left foot so we can set up for pyramid with the left leg. Again, you decide what happens with this right leg. Is it wide? Is it open? Did you step it in? Did you turn it in? Your choice. On an exhale, hinge forward, come parallel with the mat with your chest. You can stay here. This is strength building. This is strength building. Your other option is to fold over your left leg, where you might go for a little bit more lengthening. Decide what your body wants. If you're folded over the left leg, inhale, come back up to that strength building parallel variation. I was trying to say variation and version at the same time. Next, inhale, come all the way up, right? So we can open up back to our variation of a 5-pointed star. We're going to pivot to the right and come into that runner's lunge. So pivot to the right, and then pivot that back foot so you're on the ball of the left foot, and then bring your hands down into your runner's lunge. You already prepared for this? Your body was ready for this? And we're going to stay low. We're not going to come all the way up, is what I mean. But we're going to pivot all the way over to the left side. So walk your hands over to the left, and then pivot all the way into your runner's lunge. Your left knee's bent. So it was a nice little semicircle walk. Inhale, come back up. Woo. Open up for your 5-pointed star. And then we're going to do side lunge. Side lunge with the option of Skandasana, where you take that crouching warrior. So bend your right knee. Find length here. Now, take your hands where you want them to go. Palms together, hands to your hips. Right knee can just bend with a little hinge in the hip, or you can drop it down into Skandasana. Remember, one works length, one works strength. So this one, our Skandasana, lengthening. Your side lunge is going to make you stronger. Same thing when we pivot to the other side. We're literally taking our hands, walk them out, take it over to the other side. So side lunge or Skandasana. And you don't have to choose the same variation on each side. You can do different variations on each side. Find what's working for you. Take a moment just to breathe. Inhale as you come up to your 5-pointed star. And then we're going to heel to walk our feet in. Not all the way in, just a little bit wider. We're going into our Malasana squat. Not everyone likes Malasana squat. You don't have to go that low. Remember, knees and toes point in the same direction. So bring palms together, heart center. On an exhale, bend your knees. So squat down. You might only get hips in line with the knees. This is perfect. You're going to build some strength. Stay here. Or you can take it low into your Malasana squat. There's no right or wrong answer. And you have to work within what your body's ready for. So if you're in Malasana and your heels are lifted, no worries. It's fine. Some teachers will tell you you have to have heels down. Sometimes that's just not going to happen. That has so much to do with the length of your Achilles tendon, the length of your plantar fascia, the length of your calf muscle. And so there's so much involved with that flat heels is not always going to happen. Again, this squat's working length. If you're a little bit higher, you're working strength. But stay and breathe. Stay and breathe. Just keep breathing. Just keep breathing. Remember, yin, moon, female, slow, cold. It sounds so bad, but it all counterbalances the sun, the male, the warm, the yang. You know, they're total opposites. You have to have both in correct moderation. One can't be stronger than the other. Next, inhale. Inhale. Lift all the way back up. And if you start to see stars, make sure you bring movement into the body. And then take it back out, 5-pointed star. So we could go all the way back through all those poses again, but I want us to tap into some other balance work. So we're not going to do all of it. So 5-pointed star, into goddess, bend your knees and toes same direction. And I know we were just in a squat. Why are we back in it? Because it makes us stronger. Belly's in and up. Next, inhale, jump. You don't have to jump, of course. You can step in, but we're going to come up to standing with the arms overhead. So taking a breath, jump it up, arms overhead. On an exhale, stretch over to the right side. Next inhale, come upright. Next exhale, over to the left. Inhale, upright. Exhale, palms together, heart center. And come stand at the top of the mat. Top of the mat, and we're going to go into dancer splits. So weight goes into your right foot. Now you know full moon, so your balance is going to be off. I'm totally going to touch a wall. You're welcome to also. Weight goes to the right foot. Find strength through the right leg without popping your hip out to the side. It's so easy to pop the hip out. Keep it pulled in and up, belly's in and up. Take your left foot, lift it up behind you. Left hand reaches back to grab hold. It might grab it, it might not. But if you're holding on to it, remember, foot into hand, into foot. So it's a counterbalance. And then we're going to inhale, lengthen the right arm. Exhale, hinge forward. Hinging forward doesn't have to happen. That's where we really start to struggle with balance. So perhaps you stay upright. And if you fall out of the pose, laugh at yourself and get right back into it. Foot into knee, knee into foot. Nope, I lied. Foot into hand, hand into foot. I don't know what the heck I was saying there. Remember, a little bit longer of a hold. Next, inhale, come all the way back up. And then release the foot, palms back together, heart center. Whew. Don't you want to do the other side? Of course you do. So weight to the left foot. Again, finding strength in the foot, keeping the arch off the foot. Don't put weight on the arch, keep it lifted. Right foot lifts up behind you. Right hand grabs hold of it. Not everyone can reach it. That's okay. Just pretend like you can and reach back for it. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, hinge forward. Whoop. Remember, foot into hand, hand into foot. Hold a wall or a table or a chair or anything else you want to hold on to here. And if you fall over, it's okay. And you might be holding on to a wall and still fall over. That's okay too. Next, inhale, come back up. Right foot comes down, palms back together, heart center. Good news, only one of those. So inhale, arms come up. Exhale, fold all the way forward. Taking in a breath, lift up halfway. Exhale as you fold. Take your hands to the mat. Step back for, let's do high plank. Let's throw in a chaturanga for fun, because we love chaturangas, right? So belly's in and up. On an exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Chaturangas tend to be a little bit more, obviously sun, warm, yang, but we're just throwing it in just to balance out some of the slower energy. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, lift up the right leg. Open the hip, bend the knee. A little scorpion dog here. Really striving to reach the knee higher. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Exhale, pull through for half pigeon. So right knee is behind your right hand, left foot long behind you. Stay upright though. We're not going to go into a sleeping variation, which sometimes is a little disappointing, and that's okay. We are going to add in a little quad stretch just for all those lunges and squats we just practiced. So staying up, put a bend in the left knee. So this might be just enough of a quad stretch. This might be all you want, and you're welcome to stay here. Or you can take left hand, reach back, grab the foot, and pull it in. There are other variations here. You could hook the left foot into the left elbow. You could reach the right arm up. Lots of ways to make this a little bit more intense. And you're welcome to take those variations, or you can stay right here and breathe. Then release that left leg back to the floor. And just for a little fun, take it into a sleeping variation here. Forearms or forehead to the mat. So this way, you do get a little of the good stuff. Although the quad stretch is good too. It's fun. It's good. Feels good. Taking in a breath. Walk it back up to your hands. Tuck the back toes. Lift back up for down dog. Take a moment just to breathe. Down dog. One of the few poses that can be both sun and moon, both yin and yang, both male and female. It's actually a very energizing pose. Anytime you have your head below your heart, it's going to bring in more energy, but it also can be very restful. And of course, not everyone feels that side of it. Taking in a breath, lift up the left leg, open the hip, bend the knee. Taking in a breath, straighten the left leg. Exhale, pull through for half pigeon. And then stay upright. Stay upright. You know I'm going to give you a little restful one in a moment. But stay upright, bend your right knee. This might be right where you stay. This might be all your body wants. Or your right hand can reach back, grab the foot. Oops, I fell over. And pull the heel in a little bit closer. Again, you have the other variations. Mermaids, where you take your foot into the crook of the elbow, and then your left arm reaches up and overhead. I should have demoed it on the other side because I can do it on the other side. Not this one. because I fall over like I just did. The secret to finding balance with the left hand not on the floor is actually in your left toes. Your left toes push into the mat to create that balance that you could then create and lift up and overhead. And it's not going to happen today. And then release the right foot back to the mat and find your sleeping variation of our half pigeon. Taking a moment just to breathe. I really thought with today's practice being slower and moon salutations, I wouldn't work up a sweat, but here I am. Next, inhale, bring it back up to the hands, tuck the toes, down dog one more time, because it is both sun and moon. And bring your knees down to the mat, swing your legs out in front, just long enough that you can then roll yourself down onto your back, pulling your knees into your chest. Hug them there. Squeeze them in tight. And on an exhale, take both your knees to the right side of your body. Arms wherever you want them to go, just so your left shoulder stays down. Final little twist out. Final little release of that extra energy and emotion that we're holding on to because of the full moon. Full moon's very energizing. So it's like the sun. I feel like the sun is a cure-all. Sunlight and fresh air are cure-all for everything. And I feel the same way about the full moon. Go outside, feel that warmth in the light, actually like bask in it. It'll energize you. Energize your soul. There's theories that it energizes your liver actually, which obviously the liver detoxes the body. So if you energize the liver, then you're going to detox the body. It's a chance to really just clean out your body, flush the system, and get a little healthier. Is it true? I don't know. But you know what? We'll just say it is. Inhale, bring the knees back to the chest. Squeeze them in tight. Exhale, both knees to the left. And again, arms wherever you want them to go, so the right shoulder stays down. Taking a breath. Bring the knees back to the chest. Hug them in close. Squeezing them tight. Thanking yourself for coming into the practice today. On an exhale, extend yourself out into your Shavasana. Whatever your Shavasana looks like. And then when you get into that sweet, sweet, comfortable spot, either close your eyes or find a focal point to focus on. Lengthen and deepen your breath. Allowing yourself to relax and giving yourself the rest that you deserve. Bringing the awareness back into your breath, back into your body. And you start to bring in little movements into the fingers and toes. And those little movements work their way to ankles and wrists. Rocking the head side to side. And roll to one side of the body into a fetal position. Taking a moment to just breathe and notice, scan the body, notice if there's areas that just don't feel as good. Again, whether they're physical, whether they're mental and emotional, whatever just doesn't feel right. Hopefully there's fewer areas than there was at the beginning of the practice. And on your next inhale, push yourself up into a comfortable seat, any comfortable seat. When you get there, either close your eyes or find a focal point to focus on. Palms come together at heart center. With all the gratitude for joining me in practice today. With everything in me, thanking and honoring everything in you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Awesome. I'm glad you joined me on a Monday. Those other people have no excuse.
I have not